Okay, so Module 1, Lecture 2, Ground Form for Site Planning and Landscape Architecture. So what is a ground form? It is a form of the ground as or a site and is usually referred as the topography. Topography refers to any natural landscape form or man-made artificial features or element on a particular site or location. So a topographical map is a detailed and accurate graphical representation of cultural and natural features on the ground. As I have said on the previous lecture, these topographic maps are usually surveyed by a geodetic engineer, and then it is the basis for the development of a particular site. No? So this topographic map shows the different contours or the slopes of the site, and it can also show the difference in height from the sea level, the sea level. No? So as you can see in the figure, no? So the highest apex of the mountain, which is the sample is Baker Hill, it's about 50 meters from the sea level. So at approximately every 10 meters, there is what you call the contour line that will show you the difference of elevation from the sea level to the contour line. So it is always in reference from the sea level. So as you can see, the Able Hill is approximately more or less than 40 meters from the sea level. So the contour line is spaced on every 10 meters. Okay, so contour line characteristic, spacing of lines indicate the general steepness of the site. Closely spaced lines means a steep slope. So if the lines are closely close with each other, it's steep slope. No, farther distance means it's a smoother slope. Irregular contour means a rough or rugged slope, and equally spaced lines means a uniform slope. So as you can see in this figure, so this area is a steep area, no? Steep area. So and this area, no, this area, it's almost a smooth slope. No? This area is a smooth. This area is smoother than compared to this area. No? So the ridge are lines directed toward into a side or both ends. No? So as you can see in this figure, so this is the lines, the ridge lines, from the apex of the mountain. So you can see that there is a ridge line. So these are the contour lines on the ridge of the mountain. So this is another type of contour line, which represents a valley. No? So it means that this area is lower than the upper two areas. No? So these are the valleys. So as I have told you before, so that this is always in reference from the sea line. No? So as you can see, if this is 10, so this will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So this will be 0 on this side. No? This will be 0. So that will be always in reference with the sea line. Okay. So this one is the hill. No? Hills are in circular manner directed downward on all sides. No? So as you can see, this is the Bohol Chocolate Hills. No? So this is the hill. So this is the apex of the hill, and there is a slope going downward the hill. Okay, so this is the representation of a contour line for a hill. Another is the depression, line in a circular manner directed downward in the interior. So this is also shown here at like the terraces slope. No, there is what you call a depression contour line. Okay. Slope analysis. Slope shows the relative inclination of a given area or earth form It is a function of contour intervals in between two contour lines. It can be expressed in different forms, maybe in the percent, 10%, ratio, and degree of inclination. So the slope analysis is useful in making decision about the distribution of land use. So the vertical slope, or the slope, the percentage of slope, if you will compute the percentage of the slope, no, the vertical distance, this is the vertical distance over the horizontal distance will give you the percentage of the slope. Okay, so if 4 over 100 is equal to 4%, so that will be the percentage of the inclination or the slope. So slope and land use, no, this is the different angle of inclination for a slope. Okay, so as you can see, if the slope is less than 1 degree, it does not drain well. No, if it is less than 4 degrees, it is usually usable for all kinds of activities. So this is the usual slope of playing, what you call the open park, open grounds. No, this is the usual slope, the 4% slope. So this is the 4 to 10% slope is suitable for movement and informal activity. In a 10%, a more than 10% slope can be actively used only for hill sports or free play. So if it's more than 10%, can be used actively for hill sports and free play. If it's 17%, it approaches the limit that an ordinary loaded vehicle can climb for any sustained period. Okay, so this 17%, it will be difficult for a vehicle to climb on a 17% slope. So 20 to 25% slope is this normal limit for a climb for pedestrian without resorting to stair. So you can climb a slope of 20 to 25% without using a stair. But if it's more than 50% slope, you need to require terracing or cribbing or stairs, no? If you want to walk on a 50% slope, more than 50% slope. So this is the table, recommended slope for common landscape component. No? So for patios, it's 2%. For lawns, it's about 3%. For walking, it's about 4%. For driveways and ramp, it's about 10% slope. For banks planted with grass, no, this is about 30%. For banks planted with ground covers and shrub, about 33%. For steps, about 50%. So this is the recommended, no, slopes for common landscape component. So you can use this table in creating your site development plan. So cut and fill. So we will now discuss the different form to alter or to modify a site. No, there is what you call a cut area, refers to the area where the soil is removed. It's called a cut area. The fill area refers to the area where the soil is added. So when you put additional soil on the area, it's called a fill area. Excavation, it's called a removal of soil. No, if you dig, no, if you dig the ground, it's called excavation. If it's called embankment, it's called it's addition of soil. No, that this is called the embankment. So I will now, this is now the example of a cut and fill. So modification should try to attain a balanced cut and fill. So in case that there is what you call a very slope area, no, and then you want to make it a little bit flat, maybe about 5 to 7% degree of inclination. This can be attained when facilities try to blend with natural setting. Building are sites parallel to contour and match existing and adjacent properties. So you are cutting several areas of the properties and then you fill it to the other area of the property. Okay, so this is example of a cut and fill. You will, if this is the natural site profile, then you will cut the um, site the area which is higher, and then you will cut this area, and then the soil that you will remove from this area, you will fill it on this other side. Okay, so that is what you call site cut and fill. So, but the problem is you are altering, no, the natural contour of the site. No, there are other methods, which is what you call a working with the site contour, no, for you to create a good landscape, no, you need to work with the contour of the site. No, what he did here is he dramatized the site. No, the lower part he used it for the pool area, and the highest part what he did is to create a step or a terraced building on the higher part of the area. And this hilly side, he put a natural trees, or he planted trees on this side. So this is what you call a extracting the full potential of the site. So this is a sample of a development of a lot, no, addressing the contour, no. So you see these are the contours of the site, no. So the planner work with the contour of the site, so that there will be no further erosion later on, because he did not alter the contour of the site and work on it properly. So these are samples of working with the contour of the site, no. So this is a development somewhere in San Mateo, Rizal. I think this is San Mateo, Rizal. This is the contour of the land, and what they did is to follow the contour. The road will follow the contour of the land. So this was before this building was this development, no. As you can see, this is the apex of the building of the lot, no. So they work with the contour of the road, no, so that they will not cut all of this mountain. So they will work on the contour of the road. So playing out of buildings relative to the contour. So these are the 4 alternatives in development of a hill. So we have here the preservation of the hill. We have some alteration of the hill, so that this will not too steep. So some alteration of the hill can be done. Another is destruction. This should be avoided, no? Destruction of the hill, no? Another one is accentuation, no? So you accentuate, or you emphasize the contour, no? So that you can achieve a more pleasing design of the hill, no? So these are the steps, no, on how to create a development of a site, no. So in order to make it ideal, no, for construction, no. So you need to clear the land, no, remove the existing trees, strip the topsoil, provide a workable land profile as flat as possible, conduct all water storm sewers, no, so, and put necessary sewer lines on areas that have natural water lines. Build a good wide road, inexpensive but wide. Set the house well back on the big front yard. Keep the front even, and hold the minimum side yard. Throw on some lawn seeds, no. So the topsoil is the part of the land, no, which is rich in vitamins, no. So this is the most important part of the soil, the topsoil. You need to preserve or collect all the topsoil, and then put it back, no, to the site, no, after you have achieved the workable contour. So the American Sub Urbanite dream, no, the boulders are buried, the natural cover strip, and the brook contained in a storm sewer and culvert. The topsoil is distributed as a 4-inch skin over the sand, clay, or rock. There's sprouts or new artificial fauna or exotic nursery stock. So what they did is to make the area workable, then they put back the topsoil, no? So after putting the topsoil, so this will be a good workable area for development. So another way, no, comparing this area, no, this is the what you call the sample. No, there is also an alternative way to create. No? This is the better way to create with nature and in compression, which provides the human scale and charm we find so appealing in the older cultures where economy of the materials and space dictated a close relationship of structures and landscape forms. No? As you can see, he did not alter the contour of the land, but what they did is build buildings within the contour of the land. No? So this is another way. This is a better way of developing a site. So if we must use earth movers to create a new landscape, let us use them to create landscape or topographical interest and pleasant and useful forms. No? So this is this is a alteration of the site, no? But you can see that these are alteration that created additional landscaping, no? So as you can see, there is a abnormal contour on the site. What they did is to make it workable. So remove all the unnecessary lands that are protruding the contour, and then put it on a make it flat, and then make hills, no, or mounds, no, in order to create a more even site. No? So this is one way to develop a site. So this is another way, no, is to regarding provide setback, backdrop, and baffle. No, so if you are building on if you are trying to build something on a vacant lot, no, so sample, this is the road, no, so these are the natural trees. So you need to make sure that you have a setback from the road so that you can create a sound baffle, pollution baffle, no, for to protect your house, no. At the same time, the flooding will not eventually go to your house because there is what you call a mound, no, a baffle. And if in cases that the flood or water will penetrate there, you have a area that is depressed or excavated so that the water will retain on this area. Okay. Another type of landscape ground form application is to create windbreaks. No? So if you have a hill, no, it will create a windbreak to the other side of the hill, so that there will be no direct wind, no, wind force to the persons or structures on the other side of the hill. No? Another one is it creates a visual screen. No? So you will have a baffle or a screen, no, from vehicular lights or persons will not directly see what's on the other side of the hill. Another application of this is sound barrier. No, it can diffuse or absorb the sound. Okay, so another one, it can create a good building elevations. So this is another way of creating a ground what you call this development. No, so if this is the contour of the land, no, you can cut this area, and then this soil that you have taken from this side, you can put it here as an embankment. No, you can fill it here so that this sloping area will be flattened, no, further, and then you can create a balance. No, so this area, this building will not fall down, no, because you have an embankment here. Okay, so it will not fall down. So this is one solution for cut and fill balance. So another one is this one. No, if this is the slope of the natural slope of the land, no, you can cut areas, you can remove this area, and then when you remove this area, you can fill it on this area. Okay, if you remove this area, no, you can fill it. You can remove this area, you can fill it on this side also. No? So these are the different way to cut and fill a site. No? So the imposed weight of the field, no, and this is the field space on the inclined plane tends towards the placement, no. If you will put filling on a inclined area, there will be a potential erosion or slide, no. So you need to retrofit this area so that the embankment or the fill will not slide down the hill, no. Like in this case, no, if this is a if this is a field, no, you need to make sure that this area, like this one, he created a retaining wall so that the soil will not erode, no. So this will hold the soil that was filled, no, on this area. And he planted trees so that the soil will hold, no, so that these trees will eventually protect the soil from erosion. Okay, the level site, it offers the planner the best and easiest solution to the site development. The advantages is economical in site development, adaptable to great variety of planning forms, adequate to all types of street pattern. So this is the very ideal site for the development, preferably development for subdivisions or housing or development for commercial areas. The disadvantage is grouping of buildings should be carefully studied to create a satisfactory system of drainage. So this the problem of a flat area. So there is a lesser drainage slope. No, so you need to plan it and group the buildings according to the usage of disposal of water, so that the water, if there will be buildings here, you need to create a slope so that the water coming from these buildings will slope downwards the road. No? So you need to make sure that you are planning the buildings and clustering the buildings according to the slope of the land or the possible slope that you will create later on. Surfaces of recreation areas and yards require some pitch discharging water to surface inlets. No, so you need to create a slope, no, a man-made slope, so that the areas that you will use, flat areas that you will use for recreation, will not be the pond area in case there will be flooding. So types of buildings layout suitable for level types. No, we have this what you call the formal symmetrical plan and the informal symmetrical plan. So these are recommended for flat areas. No, you can create a symmetrical layout of buildings and asymmetrical layout of buildings. No, this is a sample of a formal symmetrical layout of plan of buildings on a flat land. No, so it means that these buildings are mirrored on the other side, so that is why it's called asymmetrical. This line, they are mirrored on the other side. No? So these are the symmetrical plan on a flat land. No? This is another way, the formal symmetrical plan. No, this one. No, this is the main axis of the lot, and then there is a symmetrical layout on both ends of the lot. So now, this is the example number 1. This is the main axis. This is the example number 2. This is the main axis of the lot. So these are used for flat surfaces or flat lands. So this is another This is a informal asymmetrical plan for a flat land. No? So this is the axis or the main axis of the site. No? So there is a symmetrical layout, no, of the development. Another informal asymmetrical plan. No? So this is the main axis of the site. So this is the main development, and then there is a blank area on the other side. But you can see there is what you call a circle. No? that will orient you to the center of the site. No? So this is the circle. So this is an informal asymmetrical plan. So let's go back to the previous slide. So this is another informal. So they put a main axis, main central circle on the site. This is the main axis. Parking on left and right, upper and lower side. This is the main building. On this side, this is the main building, the chemistry building. This is the main axis, and these are the road, the pathways, no, going to the chemistry building. This is another informal symmetrical plan, no. So this is the main road, and this is the main building, and this is the main entrance, and this is the parking structure. So this is another informal asymmetrical plan showing solutions. So this is these are the trees, no. These are the man-made water features, right? So we have another is the formal symmetrical plan for level sites or flat lands, and we have the sprawling type. No, this is the sprawling development. So this is a formal symmetrical plan. No, so it's mirrored on the left and the right side. The development is mirrored, and the other one. No, so you can see that there is a wide entrance. No, there is a wide entrance going inside the site. And there is what you call the sub-arteries of road. No? This is the main artery of road, and there are sub-arteries of road. So this is a formal symmetrical plan. So this is the main artery of the road. So the architect or the designer created an axis. No, this is the main axis going to the site. So these areas are mirrored on the other side, mirror development. Okay, this is the sprawling type, sprawling type plan. So this is the main entrance. So the development was created maximizing the view of the sea. So these buildings are inclined to see the view. No? Okay, so they are inclined to see the view. So a lot of areas have maximum sea views, and a lot of areas are open, to the main artery or the main road. No? So this is a good sprawling design, sprawling layout. This is the adult pond, and these are the main swimming pool. This is the grand colonnaded pool. And this is the main, these are the main entry. No? These are the main buildings, the reception, the ballroom, and the main dining. So the ballroom and the main dining is not too far from the main entrance. This is another development, a sprawling development. This is the main road, and these are the buildings. No? These are the buildings. So this is Tower A, Tower B, Tower C, Tower D, and Tower E. So these are the developments showing a sprawling type of development, giving maximum views to the buildings. No? So each building has a different view of the site. This is another sprawling type of development, showing the maximizing the view of the some of the buildings. So these are buildings that have good views. These are buildings that have good views of the park. This building has a good view of the river. No? So all of the buildings have views, that are maximized, and I should also see that the buildings are oriented to the sun, away from the sun. So these are the north-south path, and this is the east-west. So smaller sides of the buildings are exposed to the east-west direction, and the open side of the building are exposed to the north-south direction. Okay. So another building types layout suitable per site. We have the formal layout of the building and the informal layout of the building. So this is the formal layouts of buildings, no, symmetricals, no, repetitious symmetries or designs, and one focal point of interest. And this is this is a informal layout of a building, no. So different elevation, but there is a common vertical line, no, on all buildings, no? So this is the common symmetry of the building. This one is the common denominator of the building is the red brick, no? The red brick and the beige colored accents. So the sloping terrain, now in the sloping terrain next to the level site, this provides a planner a variety of building types and groupings. Different street patterns could be employed. No? The advantages is a variety of building types and building groupings, and the drainage problems are simpler. No? Water flows to the lowest level and adaptable to great variety of street patterns. So that is the advantage of a sloping or a rolling terrain. No? The disadvantages, it's more interesting land. The rolling terrain is more difficult to manage, but create a far more interesting land development. No? If you have a rolling terrain, the advantages is more interesting and land development to attract high-end buyers. Economies for the first cost of sewer and drainage lines. So this is one factor. If you have as rolling terrain, no, the cost of the drainage and sewer lines are you have a natural contour. The practice of building parallel to the contours will reduce costly construction and grading and filling. On very steep sites, the building itself could serve as a retaining wall. Okay, so these are the advantages of a rolling terrain. The disadvantages: the very steep sites could cause excessive development costs, and adaptability to rain is impressive. Drainage problems through posing of difficulties may require a workable system of channeling from one area to another. Less variety of street pattern and less variety of building types. So these are advantages of a rolling or steep terrain.